The title of the movie was practically National Treasure, The Man Who Had Everything But Lost It All. I really wanted to see it. It was massively popular in Japan, drawing in a whopping 10 million viewers. In Japan, most mega hits are animated films, in fact. 8 out of the top 10 all-time box office hits there are anime, and the remaining 2 are Hollywood films. In such a market, National Treasure Kokuho ultimately ranked 11th in the box office. That shows just what a tremendous sensation it was in Japan. It was such a hot topic in Japan that it was even covered on NHK TV News. The subject of the film is kabuki, which is traditional Japanese theater. To me, the image of kabuki has a very strong Japanese aesthetic. It reminded me of the past when Japanese culture was banned in Korea due to its Japanese style, waseic. Because the costumes and colors are so intense, that feeling was even stronger. I've had a bit of resistance toward Japan since childhood, and I felt a little bit of that in the beginning while watching the movie, especially since I had never properly seen kabuki before. My only experience with kabuki was seeing brief clips when Japan was being introduced on TV. I had a strong impression that Japan values tradition, like the idea that people always wear kimonos or that many people still watch sumo. But looking back, just as the media image of Korea differs from our real lives, the same applies to Japan. When I actually traveled there, I realized many of my preconceptions were wrong. I assumed kabuki was still hugely popular in Japan, but watching the movie made me think that might not be the case. I heard that after National Treasure became a hit in Japan, there were many inquiries about where to go to see kabuki. It reminds me of how the drama Jongmyeon the Star is Born recently made Yoseonggukguk female traditional theater famous in Korea. Of course, since I know about it, the awareness of kabuki in Japan is incomparably higher than that. Kabuki started in the 17th century and was registered as a UNESCO Intangible Cultural Heritage in 2008. I had never seen it in person, but I learned that it is a play where all roles are performed by men. I didn't know before watching the movie that women were not allowed to perform in the past. As a result, men wear makeup and modulate their voices to play female roles. This gives the tone a somewhat eerie or grotesque feeling. Because it is based on kabuki, I suspect that might be why over 10 million people watched it in Japan. I thought the director, Lee Sang-il, was a Korean-Japanese resident Zainichi active in Japan, but I confirmed this time that he is a third-generation Zainichi Korean with South Korean nationality. He is famous in Japan for making films with high artistic quality. He has won director awards and his films have been selected as the best of the year. In that sense, the director himself must have been surprised by the massive commercial success of National Treasure. A somewhat rough comparison would be if a Park Chan-wook film surpassed 10 million viewers in Korea. The running time is a staggering 175 minutes. Because it was so long, it wasn't easy to find a time slot to watch it, even though I wanted to. I finally braced myself and watched it, and I was so immersed that there wasn't a single boring moment during the nearly 3-hour runtime. Kokuho, played by Yoshizawa Ryo, was the son of a Yakuza boss. In Japan, inheriting the family business is a tradition, although this trend has reportedly weakened recently. He performed kabuki as a hobby at a New Year's event, and Hinai Hanjiro, played by Ken Watanabe, saw him. On that day, Kikuo's father was attacked by enemies. It was snowing heavily at the time. The image of the beautiful, bright snow falling while his father died seemed to leave a strong impression on Kikuo's memory. It became like the ultimate form of art that Kokuho chases forever. He enters under Hanjiro's wing and begins proper training in a famous kabuki family. He competes and practices alongside Hanjiro's son, Shunsuke, played by Ryusei Yokohama, as they both enter the world of kabuki. It is hard to say who is better as they both strive for excellence. Kokuho has the talent, but kabuki is a tradition passed down through families. Unless something special happens, those born into kabuki families are expected to inherit the craft. Doing kabuki in Japan means gaining immense popularity and being treated like a prince. Kokuho dedicates absolutely everything to kabuki. Aside from that, nothing is important to him. Love is not important to him either. He had a lover he shared a brief romance with and even a daughter, but even they are not important. His only goal is to stand at the summit of kabuki. Inheriting the name Hanjiro becomes Kikuo's goal as well. It seems he is willing to be cowardly if it is for the sake of kabuki. Reaching the top in any field requires unimaginable effort. This is especially true in the fields of art and creation. You cannot achieve it with effort alone. It is only possible when immense talent is combined with effort that no one else can copy. In that process, there are so many things one must lose. You have to give up the daily events of ordinary life. An artist is someone who acts humble on the outside but is actually wrapped tightly in ego. They have different personalities from ordinary people. Another characteristic is that those around them often have to make sacrifices for them. This is because humans cannot have it all. To stand at the pinnacle of art, one may gain artistic mastery but lose oneself in the process. Kokuho, who becomes a living national treasure in the movie, embodies this. It is unclear whether his life was happy, but the art Kokuho displayed reached the highest realm. The lifelong competition, envy, jealousy, and coexistence between Kokuho and Shunsuke also pushed Kokuho to evolve further. Although the subject matter is kabuki, which could be described as a defining spirit of Japan, I found myself deeply moved by the portrait of this one human being.